You are now listening to Commversations.
Hello everyone, welcome to our very first episode of Commversations. I am Shaira.
And I'm Kim.
And here with us today is a very special guest, Miss Christina Chua.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Yes,
ma'am.
my pleasure. Good afternoon, everyone. Or hello, should I say hello?
Yes.
Nationwide. Who knows, it might happen that way. But it's my pleasure. I think we'll enjoy doing this.
Yes, ma'am.
So, just a question right off the bat po. How are you feeling that today we invited you as our very first guest for our very first podcast episode?
Oh,
Yes,
it's an honor. It's a privilege. And I will treasure this since you have a lot of choices out there, but you chose me.
Yes, ma'am.
You see me often and ibig sabihin hindi pa kayo sawa sa mukha ko.
Ay,
Ay, no, ma'am.
Never
Never
mangyayari.
Thank you.
So po, ma'am, actually we chose you because we wanted to ask you po what kind of job opportunities po kaya ang makakuha ng mga BA-Com graduates or students po, ma'am?
Okay, for BA-Com. Actually, like I said, I did this for master class for the 4th years, no? A couple of weeks back. And when Dr. Tibado was asking me to do a master class, I had to think, no? I know there were a lot of guests already saying, do this, do that, blah, blah, blah. Tips of here, left and right. And I know they had an overdose of that. It was already too much, no?
Yes, ma'am.
So what should I be imparting to the 4th years, no? Because I know they were so serious, they're thinking, what's my job gonna be out there?
Yes.
So I finally decided to bring them up to speed of what job opportunities are there right now. I think you know that even in my classes with you, my approach is so that you'll realize that you can explore a niche for a job in the future. That's the way it should be today. And today, number one, the top of my list there is especially for newbies as you graduate. The BPOs or the business process outsourcing or the call centers are still top of the line. Okay, we have a lot in the city and hopefully there will be more investors to come to do that. Why? Because they are the backbone of the economy of the city and elsewhere as well. Why? They have pretty cool starting salary package and they also have a lot of givens. You also have government contributions. They have very good training programs and all. And, that would be good starters for you, if and when you don't know where to go yet, okay? Definitely, we also have still and will always be radio and television. Like I always say in my classes, radio and television got bigger, not only for the franchises, because it also went digital. So like, for example, TV5 and GMA7, they're on television, they have radio also because they have a franchise. And to up the ante, I always say that, is they also went digital because they're going neck and neck with development. So that means more employees. No? Aside from radio and television, when they go digital, those are another set of employees.
Ma'am, question po. Ang dami niyo pa sinabing job opportunities na makukuha ng BA-Com. Why do you think marami pong options na makukuha ang BA-Com?
BA-Com, that's a very good question. Actually, BA-Com, you get a sneak peek of everything, no? Especially on the research side as well. If you go into, like, for example, radio and television, you become the core group. Like, I'll give you an example, like, Kapuso Mo, Jessica Soho. Why is its staying power still there after a couple of years? It still tops, no? And you know why? They have a very good core group. The researchers are all BA-Com people.
Yes.
Wow.
Check and fact check. She cannot do that alone. She has a very good support. And people like you
Yes, ma'am.
are good support, no? So that's a niche you can explore, okay? What with the tools right now, but the best tool I always tell you is your brain.
Yes. It's your brain, guys, ha?
It's always your brain, not the tools that come secondary.
Yeah.
All right? So we also have, aside, of course, I said the BPOs, you have radio and television. You can also you can be a full-time researcher. for companies, they do that. No?
Yes, ma'am.
It's a particular job, research, okay, and be the writer at the same time. Sales and advertising and marketing is still tops now because that's where the money is still.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
When you go to sales and marketing, that transcends time and space. That will be both radio, television, and digital. All right? Okay.
Ma'am, since you've mentioned po about the the digital world and all, why is the digital world so parang important or like related to Compo itself? I mean, aside from the opportunities you've said na marketing and advertising and all, bakit Compo laging kinukuha for all of this?
Yes, because that's what we should be doing.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay? Why con? That's why you have a very good subject about research. No?
Yes.
Under Dr. Tibaldo, she covers that pretty cool because that's her 101% turf. No? She's the expert. She's the expert there. And she will train you well-rounded, very holistic. So when you go out there, you can even claim you can do research work. That can be added in your resume. Research will never go out of date. Even when it comes to writing, even digital or hard copy writing, if it's nonfiction, you go into that. We will be discussing that in multimedia, actually.
Storytelling.
Yeah, we will be discussing that as well as a backbone to that. No?
Ma'am, regarding naman po sa mga interns na soon na mag-graduate, ano po kaya yung mga jobs na pwede na nilang kunin agad na medyo okay yung pay po, yung earnings, ganun?
Don't look at the pay first. Remember your fresh grads.
Yes.
Okay? I know everybody wants to have a good pay.
Yeah.
Dapat mataas yung sahod ko, blah, blah, blah. But I always say this, know your worth.
It's very good advice po.
Know your worth. Alright? So you're new. So what should you be looking at? How to up the ante of your resume or your portfolio.
Upskill.
Yeah, upskill ka muna
Yeah.
before your worth goes up. That is, if, like for example, those applying in the company I work for, and suddenly they ask, magkano po yung sahod immediately, that's a no-no for me. Because I'm still assessing you.
Yeah.
Red flag po
Yeah,
siya, ma'am.
Or red flag sa akin
Kapag
yun.
yun agad yung nagmamatter sa kanila, ma'am.
Yeah, and then you will see in the resume that they're not yet that skilled. No, like I say, I will always go for a neophyte, a fresh grad, than somebody who has a lot of experience but is going to be a problem employee. And I always said this also in class that companies have money for training. I'd rather train and mold somebody to be somebody good than having somebody who'll be a headache.
Yeah.
Now, we cannot function that way.
Attitude matters more.
Yeah.
po
Very
talaga than the
much.
skill.
True,
Values
that's
as
true.
well.
Kahit sa school pa lang dapat hindi ka
Yeah.
yung ego mo minsan wag masyado mataas yung tingin mo sa sarili mo kasi baka hindi naman yun yung ganun yung tingin sa ng prof mo or the others no, ma'am.
Exactly. Of course, you should have that self-confidence, but
Yeah.
other
Too
than that,
much.
you balance it.
Yes,
Like,
ma'am.
what introspect and what else is lacking with me? How do I upskill? Okay, but you should also know your limitations.
Yeah.
That is why today in the industry we do collaborations.
Ma'am,
That's the way things are going today.
Ma'am, since you've mentioned upskilling po and all, what kind of skills po kaya would you parang try to recommend we should focus on for these like digital job opportunities po?
Communication skills is still tops.
Of course.
Yeah, that's still tops. You know where the problem lies sometimes? Miscommunication.
Miscommunication.
And it is glaring more than ever. Why? With the digital ink, sometimes always online, you meet online, blah, blah, blah. And you don't get to profile the person you're talking to. Like for example, in sales and marketing, a lot of clients now want a face-to-face meeting, not Zoom or Google Meet anymore. Why? Because if you're sizing up the client, they are also sizing you up. You can only do that face-to-face. And coming back today, a lot will say, hey, can we meet in a restaurant or something? Can we go to your office? Which is better because we talk business faster that way.
Yes, ma'am. Like, nothing beats po talaga yung face-to-face interaction.
Mm.
And pag online din po, ma'am, you have like the different technical problems and stuff. And then that will affect how you guys will talk business and all.
Yeah, that's
So,
right. So number one, communication
Communication.
skills. Learn to listen.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, because sometimes, alam ko to, I know this. But you're not listening to the other givens. So you come up, why did you do this? Mali. Hindi ka nakinig. Diba? That's still a problem with a lot of, the millennials, alpha are pretty cool today. Matuto na silang nakinig and everything.
Yeah.
So the coming generations, the problem today is miscommunication.
Yeah.
You do not listen. Listen. There's a lot to learn when you just listen. And when you listen, you can focus. And then you can communicate better.
And hearing kasi is very different
Different
from
from
listening.
listening.
Kasi hearing, okay, pwedeng nagsasalita ka dyan. Like right now, ma'am, pwedeng nagsasalita kayo pero yung nagzo-zone out pala ako. Pero kaya importante na talagang iniintindi mo yung sinasabi ng kausap mo.
Very much so. So, miscommunication does not happen that way. Okay? And then for upskilling, depending on the job that you're going to have, within the company, you learn within. You don't, of course, in school you have theories and all. That's why what we do now is more an application.
Yeah.
More than the theories, you have to apply that. Because that's the way it should be.
Yes.
That's the way it should be. At least when you've done it, like for example, the storybook we did, a lot of companies want that now, even advertising. You can put it in your resume that, hey, I can make a storyboard for you digitally. Right?
Yes.
Yeah, and there goes your story. Not PowerPoint, but the story unfolding for an ad campaign for a certain product that's going to be launched or rebranded. Okay? So that's the way to look at that.
Aside from storytelling, ma'am, nabanggit nyo, meron, di ba parang kapag communications pa, iniisip nila na job opportunities is like journalism, like sa broadcasting and such. What other job opportunities po yung meron na makukuha ng mga BA-Com graduate aside from the traditional na stereotype po na nakukuha natin?
Yeah, like radio, television, research.
Are there any options po?
As a writer, you can teach. Teaching is a very good opportunity for BA-Com. Teaching is a very good. In this life, you will have several niches. Just take it one at a time. I never realized, I'll just share this because it happened to me. I never realized I can create a book. I can author 3 books on ESL because there was a need. When I explored it, I just enjoyed it and it happened. And so I had another niche that I explored and I conquered.
Ma'am, that's very inspiring.
Yeah.
Especially
Yeah,
as
don't narrow. Wag kayong parang hinete na ito lang. No, that's why visiting lecturers like me come in because we want to enlighten you on matters like that. Okay, if you're good at writing, don't just write. You don't just be a creative writer or something. Be a researcher and writer for an advertising company, for radio and television, for certain companies out there who need research. A researcher will never go out of style. Believe me.
Yes.
It will never. And keep on reading. Proper readings.
Yes, ma'am.
Don't be afraid to ask.
Yeah, yung take-away natin doon talagang, parang we should explore our options.
Yes.
Kasi marami talaga dyan, you just have to look into it.
Yeah. And you'll see the requirements.
Yeah.
Meron kayong pasok doon lagi eh. I told you that. No? How do you fake a little bit on your resume? If, for example, like the requirements are 10, you're able to click the 5, go for it. No? Just go for it.
Then
Because
learn
they
the
enter,
rest.
yes, and then you take it from there. How
Yes.
tell whoever is going to interview you about yourself, and in a very subtle way, why you should get hired.
You have to sell yourself.
Yeah, you really have to brand
Kaya,
yourself as well.
kaya dapat may skills ka.
Yeah.
Communication
Yeah.
skills.
And communication skills yung top. So, kailangan talaga yung communication.
Skill. Communication is still tops. Yun ang problema ng mundo.
Totoo.
You know, that's why we have a lot of problems where hindi nagkakaintindihan
Yes.
because they agree to disagree.
Yes.
If